Hi all and welcome back. This is Oblivion Remastered. The original Oblivion is one of my favorite games of all time, and because of that, I really wanted to make way more content on this remaster. But at launch, performance was horrible. And at that time, I had to rely a lot on GeForce Now. And of course, cloud saves were broken. So every time I switched devices, my progress was a mess, which meant I just couldn't properly play it. And honestly, that killed my motivation for months. Recently, I spent around 70 hours in No Rest for the Wicked, and I wanted another RPG. So now, almost a year after launch and 6 months after the last patch, here we are. In this video, I'll break down the current state of the game, without wasting your time. Let's start with the most important one, performance. At launch, it was absolutely horrible. Stuttering, hitching, frame drops, and performance getting worse the longer you played. With patch 1.2, they did improve a lot across the board. Most major issues were addressed, and overall, it became much more stable. For me, it's now playable on Ultra, except for Lumen, which still runs better on Medium. That said, DLSS frame generation is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. When I turn it off, frame rate drops to around 45 in outdoor areas. Back then, even with an RTX 4090 and a Ryzen 95950X, it honestly felt bad. I was spending more time tweaking settings than actually playing. Now it's better, but even today, it should run a lot smoother. My PC is basically compensating for bad optimization, so even now, I think a lot of people will still run into performance issues. Next, bugs and crashes. Patches 1.1 and 1.2 fixed many of the worst problems. Fewer hard crashes, fewer broken quests, and better overall stability. But recent Steam reviews show that issues aren't gone. Not just Oblivion jank, real progression bugs, soft locks, and random crashes. In my own playtime, it's been mostly fine, but in a game this big, your experience can still vary a lot. Now, some general quality of life changes. Originally, difficulty felt poorly tuned. Normal was too easy, the next step up was too hard. Patch 1.2 added a new difficulty and lets you fine-tune player and enemy damage. That's a real improvement. Cloud saves are still unreliable for some people. Not everyone, but enough to be worth mentioning. Mod support hasn't really changed. And to be fair, that was communicated beforehand. To wrap this up, the game still has a lot going for it. At its core, it's still classic Oblivion. The leveling system is better. Combat feels more responsive. Controller support is much improved. And when performance behaves, it looks great. If you can use DLSS and frame generation, you should be able to make it playable and make it look good. But in most cases, you'll still need to spend some time tweaking settings to get there. I do finally enjoy it now, but it still should be better, especially on the performance side. That was it. If you like videos that don't waste your time, please consider liking and subscribing. Regardless, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.